So quite often people talk about cold calling, and I met a business last week that said, their two BDMs are always on the phone, not getting much success, and we're seeing the opposite. We've got some tools that make us or allow us to move faster, which is really good, and it's a big part of the central support budget. But cold calling is definitely not dead. Yeah, it has to form a slightly different part of the process. I think 5 years ago, even 3 years ago when I started Facets, it was very call to meeting booked. We're seeing less of that now. We're less looking at volume of calls to volumes of meetings booked. We're actually looking at touch points and sequences of where that call is in comparison to the previous email or meeting at event or the LinkedIn connection or the follow for the founder or whatever it is. But cold calling is definitely, it's not dead. I think there needs to be an intro and an icebreaker, some familiarity needs to be born out of it, which can only be done through research. I think flattery, if there's if it's available, and then obviously you need to work your angle, and then you'll have what most people would describe as a script or a question list. But you can only get to that stage once you've gone through the trust stage, which is often brought by knowledge. So I work for this business, but I understand that you're working with business X, and you'll also be more than likely having challenges with service Y, service Z, service A, B, C, D. It's vast. It's about knowing that ecosystem of where your product or service fits in, or that umbrella that your product and service fits under. So you can break the ice by pure knowledge, and you can just make people think this is somebody who really knows their stuff, therefore I will give them that time. And then you've got the familiarity, which can be a personal piece, which is pure research, like I said, based on social profiles and things, and then flattery where appropriate and if appropriate. And then you can work your angle. But cold calling is definitely not dead. I think you've got to talk confidently. I think you need to stand up when you cold call. People talk about that, having recruitment consultants walking around the office with headsets on. There's a reason for that. I think when you're crouched and hunched over, your voice is completely different. You've got to speak very purposefully, but cold calling is definitely not dead, and we're actually seeing the rise of it now. There's some great data platforms out there that can get you mobile numbers, or the people have opted in or not opted out. And with email dwindling, the phone, is definitely making a rise again. So yeah, also I suppose an additional pro tip is cold calling doesn't become cold calling when you've done multiple steps in that journey prior. There's no harm in it being the first touch point in a sequence, but actually if that person or business has seen your brand, heard your brand, seen your name, heard your name, been introduced to your name, then obviously the cold call becomes a non-cold call, and you're more likely to have success.